Hello everyone, my name is Agitya Fatili Azwar and I'm a student of Tanjung Bora University and I'm from Faculty of Teacher Training and Education. First of all, I'm gonna presentation about my personal experience using artificial intelligence, especially application called ChatGPT for learning and speaking practice. In this presentation, I will explain what AI is, the application that I use, and how I use it on my daily learning, the benefits and weaknesses, and also my experience using ChatGPT to improve my speaking skill. I hope this presentation can give you a better understanding of how AI can support our learning process. First, let me start with a brief introduction about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is a technology that allows machine or system to simulate human intelligence. This means AI can think, respond, and even learn from the data. Today, AI is widely used in many fields, such as business, healthcare, and especially education. In education, AI helps students learn more effectively by providing fast information, personalized explanation, and learning support. For students, AI is very useful because sometimes we face difficulties when studying alone. We may not understand the material or we may not have someone to ask. In this situation, AI becomes a helpful tool because it can provide explanation anytime we need it. In my case, I use AI as a support system to improve my understanding and help me complete my academic tasks. Now, I will talk about the AI application that I use, which is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence tool that can communicate with users through text. It can answer questions, explain topic, and assist you with various tasks. One of the main reasons why I use ChatGPT is because it is very easy and practical to use. I only need to type my question and within seconds I receive a response. Another reason is that ChatGPT can explain things in many different ways. If I don't understand one explanation, I can ask it again and it will give another explanation. Compared to searching manually on the internet, ChatGPT feels more interactive and efficient. Because of these reasons, ChatGPT becomes one of my favorite tools for learning. Now, I would like to share my personal experience using ChatGPT. I started using ChatGPT when I had difficulties understanding some subjects, especially English and theoretical materials. Sometimes, when I read book or materials, I feel confused because the explanations are too complex or too formal. In that situation, I use ChatGPT to simplify the explanation. I asked it to explain the topic in a simpler way, and usually it helped me understand better. I also use ChatGPT when I have assignment. For example, if I don't understand the instruction, I ask ChatGPT to clarify them. Over time, I start using ChatGPT more frequently. Now, it becomes part of my daily study routine. From my experience, ChatGPT not only helped me understand lesson, but also makes me learning feel less stressful. And there are several ways I use ChatGPT in my daily learning activities. First, I use it to complete assignment when I face a difficult question. I ask ChatGPT to explain it step by step. Second, I use it for grammar checking and translation. This is very helpful when I write in English because I can learn from the correction. Third, I use it to create dialogue and essay. For example, when I need to make a conversation for a task, ChatGPT can give me ideas and examples. Fourth, I use it to brainstorm ideas. Sometimes I feel stuck and don't know how to start my work. ChatGPT helps me generate ideas so I can begin. Lastly, I also use it to review materials before exams. I ask it to summarize topics so I can study more efficiently. Based on my experience, there are many benefits of using ChatGPT. The first benefit is speed. ChatGPT provides answers very quickly, which saves a lot of time. The second benefit is clarity. The explanations are usually simple and easy to understand, even for difficult topics. The third benefit is flexibility. I can use ChatGPT anytime and anywhere as long as I have internet access. Another important benefit is that it helps improve my English skills. By reading the response, I can learn new vocabulary and sentence structures. It also increased my confidence because I feel more prepared when I understand the material better. Because of this advantage, ChatGPT becomes a very helpful tool in my learning journey. However, ChatGPT also has some weaknesses that we need to consider. First, the information is not always 100% correct or accurate. Sometimes the answer may be incorrect or incomplete. Because of this, I always try to double check important information from other sources such as book or trusted websites. Second, ChatGPT requires an internet connection. Without internet, I cannot use it. Third, is a risk of dependency. If I use ChatGPT too much, I might become less independent in thinking. Instead of solving problems by myself, I might rely too much on AI. Therefore, it is important to use ChatGPT wisely as a support tool, not as a replacement for our thinking. Now, I'll move to the second part of my presentation, which is my experience using ChatGPT for speaking practice. Speaking is one of the most important skills in learning English, but it is also one of the most challenging. Many students feel shy, nervous, or even afraid of making mistakes when they speak. To overcome this problem, I use ChatGPT to help me practice. For example, I ask ChatGPT to create dialogues and then I can practice reading and speaking with them. I also try to repeat sentences and practice pronunciation by myself. Even though ChatGPT does not speak directly, it still helped me prepare for real conversation. So, by far, from my experience using ChatGPT for speaking practice is very helpful and practical. One of the biggest advantage is that I can practice anytime without pressure. I don't feel embarrassed because I practice alone. It also helps me build confidence. The more I practice, the more comfortable I feel when speaking English. In addition, ChatGPT helps me learn new vocabulary and expression that I can use in daily conversation. However, I also realized that ChatGPT cannot fully replace real communication with people. It does not provide real-time feedback like a teacher or a friend. Therefore, I believe that GPT is a good starting point, but we still need real interaction to improve our speaking skill. So, by far, in my conclusion, based on my experience, ChatGPT is a very useful and practical tool for learning English. It helped me understand difficult materials, complete assignments more efficiently, and improve my English skills. In addition, using ChatGPT for speaking practice allows me to practice anytime and build my confidence. However, ChatGPT also has limitations. The information may not always be accurate and cannot replace real human interaction. Therefore, we should use ChatGPT wisely. It should be used as a support tool to enhance our learning, not as a shortcut to avoid thinking. Overall, I believe that ChatGPT is a valuable tool that can help students become more independent, confident, and effective learner. In the future, I will continue using ChatGPT to support my learning process, while also trying to improve my skill through real practice and interaction. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your attention, and have a great day. I'm sorry for many mistake of my pronunciation, and goodbye.